Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining our Smith & Wesson strategy recommendation. My name is Jackson, and I would like to introduce you to the team. Alan, Hamza, Paige, Abigail, Kiana, and Venus.
Hello, everyone. During this presentation, we hope that you gain a lot of insight into Smith & Wesson as a company, but also get some more information about their internal and external environments. We will be going over a few strategy recommendations today that we hope that Smith & Wesson will implement in the future, and we'll even be going over the outcomes that we believe that these strategies will have on the company as a whole. Today, we will be reviewing our strategy recommendations for Smith & Wesson. We will be starting out with going over our vision and mission statements, which we recommend Smith & Wesson change from their previous ones. We will then be going into our SWOT analysis, which will focus on our strengths and weaknesses in the internal environment and our opportunities and threats in the external environment. We will then be reviewing our short-term strategies, which we have 3 of, as well as our long-term strategies, which we have 4 of. We will end the presentation today with an overview of our financial projections and a conclusion, thanking you for your time today. First off, I would like to talk about the vision and mission statements for Smith & Wesson. The vision statement that we recommend to the company is, we strive to make Smith & Wesson among the top 3 most reputable, safest, and innovative firearm brands everywhere they have approved dealers and distributors by 2030. We believe that this is a good recommendation because it indicates a goal for the company, but also a timeline for when that goal needs to be completed. We want to make sure that Smith & Wesson is one of the top 3 firearm brands in the world. And by doing this, they need to capitalize on their safety advantage, their innovation, and their reputation. Next, we have our mission statement that we recommend to the company, which is dedicated to the research, design, production, and innovation of firearms used for sport, hunting, law enforcement, and personal protection because hazardous equipment must be dependable and safe for its users. We believe that this is a good mission statement because it indicates what we are striving for, but also determines who our target audience is.
Hello, my name is Alan Stone. I'll be going over some of the key factors we identified through our SWOT analysis. One thing we noticed for Smith & Wesson's strengths was that they had great brand loyalty and brand recognition. In conjunction with that, they have a vast array of products, as well as a great quality consistently throughout their line of products.
I would like to go a little bit more in depth about the strengths and weaknesses about Smith & Wesson, just so we can get a better idea of the internal environment at Smith & Wesson. The brand recognition at Smith & Wesson is amazing. The company's amazing reputation for historical significance, constant innovation, reliability, and quality of products has made Smith & Wesson what it is today. Another strength for Smith & Wesson is their vast product line. The company's product line has been growing ever since it came to be a company, which has been since 1852. The last strength that I would like to focus on is their high quality manufacturing. It is a major strength because Smith & Wesson creates fully metal frames for their firearms, which a lot of companies decide and choose not to do. Next, I would like to go over the weaknesses of Smith & Wesson's internal environment. First, I would like to review the low rate of free cash flow that the company had at the beginning of 2023 in January. Their rate of free cash flow was negative $18 million. This is a very important measure of a thriving company, and it's really important to investors and stakeholders. So having something that is this negative is definitely a weakness for the company. Next, we have the surplus of inventory that the company has. This can turn worse in the future because of future projections and forecasts continuing like they have been can make us have even more inventory in the manufacturing facilities. Next, we have our marketing tactics. Now, these marketing tactics have been a huge weakness for Smith & Wesson because there has been so many accusations of the marketing tactics hurting people in the real world. So these accusations have said things along the lines of Smith & Wesson is marketing towards young men, saying that they need to buy weapons in order to become men. And this has not been going well for Smith & Wesson and has actually pushed more and more accusations against them for their marketing tactics.
An opportunity we identified within the industry being the advancements in technology within the military, the government procurement process, and being on the cutting edge of implementing an HRIS system. However, the threats within the industry being that there's a shift in defense spending, socioeconomic policies within the United States, as well as an emphasis on cybersecurity in the U.S. Our short-term plans and recommendation is to emphasize the customer and brand recognition, awareness, and loyalty by investing into banking as a service and having that roll out at the 1 year mark from today. Within that year, we'll be selecting a partner bank as well as ensuring that the process is up to the Smith & Wesson standard of quality. In conjunction with that, we'd also like to invest a little bit more heavily into the HRS system through collection of data and really ensuring that we know our customer base and all of their interests and concerns. In doing so, we'd be able to really enhance our marketing team as well as our processes. To follow that up, we would like to offload some of that surplus inventory that we do keep. In doing so, we would like to sell to the Mexican government. What that would allow us to do is foster a relationship and get them more accommodated and accustomed to the Smith & Wesson operating systems as well as the functionality of the firearms.
Hello everyone, I'm Hamza Aitouni, and today I'll be diving deeper in the implementation of one of our short-term strategy. And as Alan stated ahead of me in the slides, and as you guys can see, we have 3 short-term strategies, and one of them would be the banking as a service, and I would like to dive deeper into that. So banking as a service, how we try to implement it would be embedding like financial services into a possible mobile app that will allow the customers to have the ability to issue credit cards, debit cards, or take on personal loans, or most of the services offered by a bank, they will be able to do it over the mobile app under the Smith & Wesson brand. One of the main benefits from this would be that the customers will get or benefit from cashbacks and rebates, which can be redeemed for products within the Smith & Wesson product range. That's it for diving deeper on this strategy. I would like to let Alan to move on our long-term strategies.
In our long-term strategies, we would like to launch banking as a service as well as our enhanced HRIS in conjunction with one another to better understand our customers, enhance our marketing dollars, as well as provide better insight into our customer base. Banking as a service is of moderate risk and of low cost, yet looking to net us $83 million in the first year and $150 in the second, providing revenue growth throughout its lifetime. Our HRIS will be of low risk as well as low cost due to its easy implementation and understanding of data to enhance our marketing and better our marketing spend. With the Mexican military, through fostering that relationship, will be of moderate risk and high cost. We will also be providing better understanding of their procurement process as well as their training process, and in the end, between those two things and the selling of hardware, we expect to net a $230 million revenue bump. However, for the American military, with careful R&D and understanding and aggregating the data that we collect from the Mexican military, we expect it to be both high cost and high risk, but not without a high reward, being $580 million and being the United States arms supplier for the next 10 years, as it's a 10-year contract. In 2027, we will be submitting our bid to be their supplier, and that will be, in and of itself, a 2-year selection process.
Hello everyone, and as we moving along with our recommendation strategy, we would like to present to you our forecast for the upcoming 5 years. To start with, we're going to start with the year 2023. We expect a slight increase in revenue, as you can see. That's due to the upcoming political situation in the country, where historically Smith & Wesson has benefited from uh, this political uncertainty. Also, the marketing costs are assumed to increase. That's based on our implementation of banking as a service. One more important factor that will affect our performances for this year would be our relocation, which will affect our G&A and lead to an increase in our costs due to employees' retention costs. For the year 2024, we expect an exceptional year in revenue, and that is due to the political uncertainty again that flows from the previous year over to the next year. Also, our launching of our short-term strategy, the banking as a service, which will allow us to generate significant revenue as we expect our customers to lean for our financial services. And this increase in revenue will also meet an increase in our marketing costs. Marketing costs that comes along with the implementation of the procedure to target customers seeking financial services. For the year 25, we expect our revenue of hardware to decline, which will affect our net sales. Our financial services are expected to generate higher revenue than previous year, which will allow us to reduce our marketing and advertising costs. That's due to the use of the mobile app used for banking services to also advertise for our current products and promotions. For 2026, one of the main events coming up in the US would be the hosting the Soccer World Cup, which will affect our net sales positive. We expect that to affect our net sales positively, considering our company will be the source of procurement of weapons to the local police or as well as the private security companies in order to ensure and enforce security in stadiums as well as local cities. For the year 2027, one of the most important metric to watch for this year will be the increase in research and development, which has been increasing in the past years, as you can see. And that's due to our long-term strategy, where we target both Mexican and American and military. So we are getting close to the expected bid that we have a date for 2027, where we are raising the budget in the final steps to process and ensure an on-time production start date. To conclude, we would like to present to you the most important reachable goals that will allow the company to tap on important results, such as reinforced loyalty rate, allowing the Smith & Wesson brand to keep a presence in their customers' transactional cycle. Not only that, but our forecasts are anticipated to result in a higher profit margin, allowing the company to serve its customers as well as its shareholders. On behalf of my team, I would like to thank you all for being present today as well as giving us the opportunity to present to you. Thank you.